समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Okay, so today we start with verse 3 and continuing with the Devi qualities, the Lord says, तेज क्षमा धृति शौचम अद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति संपदं देवीं अभिजातस्य भारत. Vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, purity, absence of hatred, absence of pride, these belong to the one born for the divine estate, O Bharata. Now he is addressing him as Bharata, addressing the lineage. Then you see, the thing is that here the first one that is over here is glow, that is Teja. Tej to sabko pata hai, isn't it? Tej is the illumination or glow. So over here, now most of the time, people try to physically see that. Please try to understand that in calendar art, when they show a halo behind a saint or something, that is just a physical representation of what he is trying to say over here, because Tej is not really light. Though I have to say here, and I mention it because I have experienced it. I know most of the people will not believe it, but there was a saint who used to come and stay in a house for months on end. He used to stay, and he used to give talks also, by name Swami Hariom, and he was a very big saint. Even Swami Chinmayanand used to say Hariom Swamiji was a very, very big saint. Now, so then this master, when he used to come to a house, I was a little child, but we had to sit for the satsang and we had to listen to all the saints that used to keep coming in our house. So I clearly remember the glow, physical glow. I mean, I could witness there used to be a kind of a light emanating from his whole personality. And so this is something very pure, something very luminous, something very, I really can't describe it what it was. But when you looked at him, his entire body was a mass of kind of a soft light. I've seen it, and that's why I'm telling you, I mean, believe it or not. But anyway, so here that was a physical part. Now here's the brilliant glow, Teja, as Swamiji says, is not a physical glow. But he says over here, see the brilliancy of anybody's intellect. The intelligence of his mind, intelligence of the mind of the person, the agility in his body, the
genius of his personality, all that shows, you know, the saint may be very, very simple, and they normally are. They are very, very simple people, dressed very simply. There's no fashion of any kind, there's no jewelry, there's no makeup, there's no nothing which we use to add to our personality. There was nothing there, but still, that there is a kind of a strange kind of a pull of the personality, an attraction of the personality. That is why you have always noticed that saints, a lot of people come, are attracted to them, and sit with them, sit around them, even if he doesn't say a word, like Raman Maharishi. Not a word. But people used to just sit around him, and they used to get what they had gone there for, a spiritual upliftment. These people have an aura around them. I always call it a kind of a Wi Fi field around them, quite around them, that you enter that field, you are bound to feel the joy which they radiate, and they radiate a certain kind of a powerful attraction, a powerful energy which draws you to them, and you can anywhere sit anywhere near them, and you will feel the joy inside your heart. So that is what he means by Teja over here. Okay. Now then, here he also means by this, as Gurudev has written over here, that there is an abundant energy in them, and that energy is not like all of us have mortals. We need to rest a lot, we need to sleep a lot, and we need to eat, and these people eat very, very little, most of them. The realized masters I'm talking about, not just anybody who puts on a saffron cloth doesn't become a realized master. It's not that. Uh, so somebody who's a realized master, he needs very little rest, very less sleep he requires. And I've seen Gurudev from close. Gurudev used to be answering letters, writing books, thing and all till late at night, and then he used to get up at 3:30 in the morning. And so very, very little time he had for resting. So this kind of energy they have, with which they serve mankind. Now the next is Kshama. Now here's the patience, not used in the parlance of the way we use it, that you suffer somebody or suffer a situation or suffer somebody's talk or suffer somebody. That's called be patient, be patient. That is not the meaning over here. It is not the capacity to bear silently any happening. That is not what patience over here is. There is a kind of a Gurudev uses the word unruffled serenity. They are calm, poised, peaceful, with everybody around, no matter how horrible the situation is, no matter who's opposing them, no matter who's insulting them, no matter they are very, very, uh, I mean, they're just totally unaffected by it. You cannot anyway make a dent in their happiness. That kind of patience they have. That is what is meant over here. Now, fortitude, dhriti. Dhriti, acha. Dhriti, you see, is a single pointed dhiraj. You know the word dhiraj? Dhiraj is the same root as this. So you see, that is that they have this power to withstand and to go on, even in the face of failure, in the face of opposition, in the face of unforeseen situations and circumstances. They have this, uh, it's a kind of a holy, holy power they have to withstand everything in a very, very calm, peaceful manner. They don't feel dejected, they don't feel depressed, they don't feel uh, beaten or disappointed, no matter what happens, most of them, keep laughing, smiling, joking. They radiate a kind of a happiness. Now, one thing, you see, have to be you have to be connected to the source of happiness to be able to give happiness to others. Otherwise, you cannot. Any happiness that comes from objective things will only give you pleasure or happiness for a very, very momentary short time. That is all. But this is the source of happiness. So they are unruffled, as I said, and they have this dhriti. Dhriti means the kind of a energy to go on, even in the face of opposition, in the face of calamities, in the face of unforeseen situations and circumstances. Their response to the world is very, very like forthright. And so here it is fortitude. They say this comes from an completely well integrated personality. This kind of strength, a holy strength, sacred strength, comes to a very, very integrated personality. Integrated personality is what? Where the mind and intellect and the body are together. There is no bifurcation between the mind and the intellect. Whatever the intellect believes, the body says and does, and the mind also believes in it, then the personality is totally integrated. That personality has a lot of power. Such a personality truly is has got this thing called fortitude, dhriti, not breaking up under any situation and circumstance. So, normally you notice like Gurudev used to work so hard, a whole lot of hours together. He used to go on working, he used to interact with so many people, but he never used to get tired. We have seen that. We have seen that. He never used to get tired. And then on top of it, he was so sick. He was on all the time on medicine. 7% of his heart was working towards the later years. Can you imagine? He used to be on oxygen, wasn't allowed to talk, yet, he used to give 1.5 hour talks 3 times a day. Think about it. The doctors had told him that if you talk, we don't take any guarantee. But he used to say, it doesn't matter. So many people have come to listen to me. How can I not guide them? I will have to guide them. So then Gurudev continued. So this is the thing, that no exhaustion, no fatigue, no rest. He just go on. Uh, Another one is purity. Now purity has been discussed in the previous verse or the verse before that also. I don't remember. There is this word purity somewhere else also. Now here purity is of the body, of course. I have discussed it before, that Indians take it to such an extreme, just for their body. An Indian will have a bath in the coldest of countries. In anything, it may be freezing cold, but the Indian mostly will have a bath. And some of them bathe morning and evening. We all do in the summer here, in the heat of summer. But in the winters also, everybody just bathes every day. Needed or not needed is not, it's just habit, cleanliness. Now, of course, the bath purifies you, invigorates your body, and all the rest of it. But apart from that, you see, there's so much of insistence on this personal hygiene and the house cleaning, that people, I have said in my previous talk, people have forgotten to clean the environment. They just don't care. But that is not what purity here means. Here, purity is inner and outer. He's talking of the purity of thoughts as well. A Devi Sampada person who has these Devi qualities, Devic qualities, Deva, he will not, he will never bring impurities into his mind. He will not allow impure thoughts to come into his mind. Any thought which, some great masters have said that the so called good thoughts also generate impurities in the mind. The thoughts you can't stop. Thoughts are there. Thoughts are always there. So even good thought can generate or can cause an agitation. So that agitation becomes an impediment in concentration, right? It becomes a hurdle in your concentration. Even if there is a little impurity in the mind, you cannot concentrate, you cannot meditate. So what happens to your sadhana, right? So Devi Sampatti people always guard the mind zealously. You must learn to guard the mind and not let any kind of talk or any kind of vision tumble into your mind. Now here you see there is another one which is called non-hatred is the translation. It is a droha. Droha means hatred or opposing somebody tooth and nail. And uske aage lag jaye to adroha means the opposite of droha. So he translated it as non-hatred, harmlessness, ahimsa. We have discussed ahimsa in detail, so I will not go into the detailing of this word, but here it means that there is not even a thought of injuring anybody. Not even a thought should cross your mind of injuring or harming someone, or the thought that harm should come to someone. I know of people who hate somebody so much that every day they look at the paper to see कि मरा कि नहीं, उसकी obituary आई है कि नहीं. Now imagine. That means that person has got a somewhere ingrained hatred for that other person whom he hopes and wishes कि ये मर जाए. That is impurity. That is the impurity in the mind. So they say that not even in your thoughts, not even in your dreams. See, dream में क्या आता है? Subconscious thoughts. In deep sleep, you are in the unconscious mind state, right? But in a dream state, you are in the subconscious mind. So when you say कि हम लोग क्या कहते हैं ना कि मैंने तो सपने में भी नहीं सोचा. सपने में भी नहीं सोचा means it is not on conscious level, it is not even on the subconscious level of my mind. That is what it means. So here, this, not even in a dream, an idea of harming somebody or injuring somebody should come. That person's mind is pure. And that can happen when? Tell me. When can such a thing happen? When you feel, see, there is nobody who wants to harm himself, right? Or injure himself. Do I ever get an idea that I should uh, cut off my arm or cut off my wrist or cut off my ear or something like that? No, because it is me. So a Devi Sampada person, his thoughts always are that the other person is me alone. There is nobody in the world who is the other. You can only think of injuring the other. But the fact is that everybody is the same. The realized master lives with that the other person is me. Gurudev used to write, when he used to sign off letters, he used to sign off thy own self, Chinmayananda. So thine own self, he lives with that thought, with that feeling that there is no difference between you and me. Right? So when he writes thy own self, Chinmayananda, it means that there is a very interesting story of this Mullah Nasruddin. You have heard them before from me. So here I repeat, and Mullah Nasruddin used to do foolish things to convey a philosophical truth somehow. Now, this story also is very foolish. You will say, how stupid. But he is telling you that you do these kind of things. The more there is me and you in any person, he will behave like this. See, Mullah Nasruddin's daughter was married to some man. Now, that man one day beat her up. He was angry and he beat up Mullah's daughter. So, Mullah's daughter came running uh, to her father. So her father also beat her up. And you know what he said? He said, "You beat my daughter, so I beat your wife." Now think about it. Think about it. This is me and you. Okay? This is how we operate in the world. You harm me, I will harm you. So Mullah is only, by doing that act, Mullah only was trying to teach the thing that the girl is the same. She is not his wife and my daughter are now not two different people. They are the same people. And how foolish it is for him or her or Mullah to beat her. How foolish it can be. I know it was a very strange way of teaching. I understand that, and poor girl. But the thing is that he was trying to show this, that because we have this in our mind, the same person is your daughter's, so I beat her up, and Mullah thinks that she's your wife, so you beat my daughter, I'll beat your wife. Look how stupidly people think. It is the same thing. So the realized master does not hate anybody, does not harm anybody, knowing that that person is the same as him. Okay. Now, absence of over pride. This is a very, very interesting thing. Very interesting. It is called na ati manita. देखो क्या लिखा है. Man is arrogance, pride in yourself, and na ati manita. That means when you have the false pride about yourself, you have an exaggerated importance you give to yourself. That is Atimanita. And na Atimanita is that the Daivi Sampada people do not have this manita. They do not have arrogance. They do not feel that I am somebody, I am great, I am something. हम लोगों का क्या है? थोड़ी सी कोई तारीफ कर दे, जरा सा कुछ अवार्ड मिल जाए, कोई भी कुछ हो जाए, and we start thinking ourselves to be God knows what. कोई कुछ कह तो दे, and then we think we are somebody, right? So this thing, that there is absolutely no pride in himself. Okay. See, there is Gurudev has written the name of Coriolanus over here. So I must explain. Coriolanus was a Roman, and he had a lot of pride in his birth. He had a lot of pride in his nobility, and he used to think that he is a, Romans as it is were considered as first class citizens. Everybody else was considered as second class. So to be a Roman, when they said that you were a Roman, the Roman had lot of privileges more than the others in the society. So Coriolanus was very proud of that. Now then, when the government over there made laws in favor of the plebeians, that is ordinary people, uh, Coriolanus objected to that, and he objected a whole lot. His mother, Volumnia, also encouraged him to do it. So Volumnia used to encourage him that yes, 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 totally egg him on to fight for nobility, because he should have pride in his birth, he should have pride in his position. So that is what she used to do. So then Coriolanus was banished from Rome, and he went and joined some enemies of Rome, collected an army, and came to fight against Rome. So then he was declared a traitor, but he came to fight against Rome. So Volumnia, his mother, again talked to him and talked in exactly the opposite way of what she used to talk before. Remember, she's the one who used to egg him on. So now then she told him that no, no, you mustn't fight against Rome. Can you imagine if you fight against Rome? Would you like to see your mother be taken as a prisoner of war and take? And that is what stopped Coriolanus from, and he retreated from there and went away and did not fight against Rome. So this volumnia is the one from which the word volume has come. You know the word volume, where you go highest and then you bring the sound lowest in volume. So that from volumnia it has come. Because once she was totally arguing on this side, then she was totally arguing on the other side. Okay. Well, anyway, leave that aside. So, na atimanita, that means you should not, acha, if you free yourself of possessions and responsibilities, the more you let go, the lighter your life becomes. You will live much lighter when you give, and give, or you let go, let go, let go. You know, people who keep holding prejudices in their mind. Pata hai na? People think of years and years back. You know, this one said this to me, that one did that to me, this one was unfair to me, unjust to me, I was treated badly, this and that. They go on ruminating over that in their mind, and that is a burden on them. That is a total burden on them. So the more you let go, the easier your life becomes. So that is. Now, unnecessary possessions are also unnecessary burdens. You must always think that what is it that I do not need? Throw it away, throw it away, throw it away. You're not a dung beetle or something who just goes on collecting rubbish whether you need it or not. Some people have a habit of keeping things away. Kabhi kaam aa jayega. Are you don't need it. When you need it, it will be given to you. That is what Gurudev used to say. So you don't need to hoard and store. Okay. So these are 26 qualities till now described. And this is the divine state of qualities. Either you have them, but why? There are people who have them, they are born with them. That is their past karma, that their personality is like that. But here the Lord, through relating all these qualities, is telling us to transform our lives, to change our ways of thinking, to change our ways of living to suit this. And if you can do this, this will save a lot of your mental and physical energy. We waste a lot of energy in anger, impatience, collecting things and all that. We waste a lot of energy. So we will conserve all that energy and we can use it for higher purposes in our living. Okay. So these are the 26 qualities for a Devi Sampada person. Now the next one was, remember what was it? Asur. The second category of people are Asur. Most of the people come into this category. Now see, it is Dambho Darpo Bhimanascha Krodha Parushyameva cha Ajnanam Chabhijatasya Partha Sampadamasurim. He says that the Asuri Sampada is Dambh, Darpa, Abhiman, Krodh, Parushya. Parushya is Kathor Vachan or Kathor ways of talking. Um, Agyan और अभिजातस्य, ये आसुरी क्वालिटीज हैं. Abhijatasya means of the born, as translated here. That they are born with these kind of qualities. The Asur Prakriti ke jo log hote hain, they are born with this. So, the translation is hypocrisy, arrogance, and self-conceit, anger, and also harshness, and ignorance belong to one who is born, O Parth, for a demoniac estate. Demoniac is Asuric temperament. See, there are a lot of people, hypocrisy. Let's come to the first one, which is called hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is one where uh, you try to show what you are not. You try to arrogantly show what you are not, pretending pretense of any kind. Now, pretense of any kind can be anything. You see, pretense of any kind, दंभ. दंभ क्या होता है? मैं बहुत बड़ा हूँ, मैं बहुत ऊंचा हूँ. Some show off in the material plane. I have this car, I have this kind of bungalow. See, your car is a little smaller than my car. This kind of nonsense. And people have a lot. See, my diamond is a little bigger than your diamond. Huh? Or look what my goodness, I have seen women coming to parties, they may be in their 80s, dripping with jewelry all over the place. I mean, what are they trying to show? That means their whole personality is so impoverished that nobody wants to be anywhere near them. So they try to attract people through the wealth. The show of wealth they use to attract people to them. That is Dambha in the objective world. Gurudev writes that one of the cheapest poses. What are the cheapest pose? Cheapest pose is pretend to be very spiritual, pretending to be very righteous, pretending to be very holy and sacred, but inside you are vicious and you have horrible designs. Some people, we read it every day in the paper, isn't it? Priest class of any religion, not just Hinduism or only Christianity or only Islam. I mean, no, sir. Of every religion, there are stories of the priest class wearing holy garments, conducting themselves in a temple or a mosque or a where, and then doing what? Committing crimes, committing horrible, horrible crimes, or running after money. Just aggrandizement of wealth in the garb of a holy personality. That is what Damba is over here. You have bad intentions, and superficially, you show a sacred, holy garb. तिलक लगा हुआ है, सब कुछ है, होली कपड़े पहने हुए हैं, and what are you doing? See, if people who are grehsthas are doing all kind of things, you can still understand. But a person who professes and announces to the world that he's a sannyasi or he's a holy priest of some sort, any order of any religion, for him to be doing this. So that is what is called hypocrisy or dambha. Then darpa. Darp is also a similar shade of dambha. Darp is a whole lot of pride in oneself. It can be pride of anything. I am very learned, I am very skillful, I am the most talented, I am the most beautiful, I am the richest, I am this or that, whatever. So, my home is the best home, my car is the most expensive car, anything at all. And that darpa is the same root as the word darpan. Darpan pata hai na? Mirror. So what does the mirror do? The mirror enhances your pride in yourself. Gurudev used to say that anybody who calls himself a sannyasi should give up the mirror. He used to say should totally give up the mirror. The mirror is the one that enables pride in your personality, what you look like. So people are proud of that. Some people are proud of their goodness. Some people are proud of their charity. Some people are proud of so many things, little, but they cheat, they murder, they loot, they um, um, uh, they do all kinds of things. Well, let's not get into it, all the horrible criminal dirty, ugly things that happen in the world happen under this garb of being very good, because then the people get cheated with that. You know, people coming to you, now you give me that money, I'll multiply your money. I'm just like your son. I'm just like your family. I'm not going to cheat you. This is a garb, isn't it? Darpa. And then they cheat you on that. So that, and these kind of people, see, they develop a kind of an arrogance, and they think they are above everybody else. Everybody else is imperfect, they are the most perfect. So they see faults in everyone else. You cannot gain that uppityness unless you see faults in everybody else, because you see, this is wrong with this one, this is wrong with this one, this is wrong with this one, and I am the Mr. Right. So such people are uh, such people are, उनको बहिष्कार करते हैं लोग. They are ostracized by society. Most of the people do not like to associate with them. When somebody is so proud, do you like to sit with that person? Do you like to talk to that person? Because he's always boasting about something or the other of his. I'm born in this kind of family. My ancestors were this. Hey, who are you? And he may be zero. But even then, he will boast about the past. He borrows the importance from his ancestors. They were so rich, they were so this, they were that, they were that, they were that, whatever. Right? Now, so then, yeah, and he want, by doing that, he is wanting the love of the people, he wants the respect of the people, but he is doing just the opposite. People shun his company. He becomes insufferable to the rest of the world. So one should guard against this darpa very, very much. They should really guard against it. And everybody else can see him as the most atrocious, most insufferable person. He himself thinks he is something very, very great. I have a relative who used to, of course, God has gifted him with a very wonderful personality, very handsome man and all. He used to all the time keep telling everybody, all his friends around, that I am the military advisor to the Prime Minister of India. I am this, I am that. And he was nobody. Now, just to everybody else used to say that from the whole army, from the whole defense forces, the Prime Minister could not pick a military advisor. They had to find this chap to do it. And he was no one. So, see, this is what is hypocrisy or darpa. Also, pride in himself that I am somebody, and you want people to believe it also. Huh? Also, self conceit, also, abhiman hota hai usse. Anger. The next one is anger, that is क्रोध. अब इसको तो जितना बोलें उतना कम है. People at the drop of a hat fly off the handle. You know, they, you know, and they take pride in phrases like, I lost my shirt. On so I lost my shirt. Are bhai, if for some small reason or for even a big reason, you go on flipping and you go on jumping into a temper. I'm very short tempered. I'm very sensitive. And anybody says anything to me, I go into a temper. I fly into a temper. It is not something to be proud about. It is something to be ashamed about, that you do not have the poise to withstand insults, you do not have the poise and the grace to calmly take the situations of the world. You don't. So then, that is what. Uh, Gurudev once was staying with me, and people used to come to meet him. So there was a lady who sat very next near him and asked him that, Swamiji, I have a very short temper. So how can I control my temper? And Gurudev said, the answer Gurudev gave was, you must pre-warn yourself. So how does one pre-warn yourself? Because all the time, all kind of situations happen in the day, and anything can make you fly into a temper. Impatience. You are impatient, and so you cannot tolerate people. You cannot tolerate what they are doing or what is happening. So Gurudev said that when you get up in the morning, think of the whole day. Think of all the people you will be meeting. Think of all the meetings you will be attending. Think of all the situations that you may possibly face. Obviously, you can't think of everything, because you are not a fortune teller or something, or a jyotishi or somebody. But you still have an idea what you will meet in the day. Now, in that, try to imagine it opposite, the opposite of everything. That a meeting I have called doesn't take place. I go all the way and I am disappointed. My car meets with a crash. This may happen. Somebody I don't like at all comes to meet me. This, that, so many things, you visualize them and make a firmly determine in yourself that if this happens, I will not lose my temper. I will remain calm. When you have pre warned yourself of something like that, then your reaction is different from when it hits you suddenly and you have not imagined it. So, this is a very good tip for people who are short tempered. And short tempered person, then what happens to him? वो parushya means they speak in a very harsh manner to others. कठोर वचन जिसको कहते हैं, hard hitting talk. And you know that words have the power to injure others more than physical weapons. Why is it so? Because you injure his mind, you injure his pride in himself, you injure his self respect by words. So you should be very careful in these things. So speech is one thing that can hit you right inside. Speech that goes through the ears, and it can hit you very badly. But then, also, then the last one is self delusions, agyanam. Agyanam. Huh? Now, what is agyanam? Agyanam is self delusion. How does Gurudev translate? Ignorance. Gurudev says ignorance. Ignorance means you allow yourself to be deluded. Now, when you don't know something, then you try to, when you don't know the other person, you start judging that person. Right? When you don't know somebody very well, you start judging the person, and you judge the person in a very negative way, mostly. You judge situations and surroundings in a negative way. That is because of your extreme egocentric behavior in the world. You think that you are Mr. Perfect operating in an imperfect world. Politicians are bad, the situation is bad, the society is bad, the municipality does nothing, my staff in my house is bad, my spouse is not the right kind of person that I should have married, all kind of, but you are Mr. Perfect. Is it so? You may be having so many faults which others see, but you do not see. And you are seeing others as fault which they may not have. It is your vision. It is the fault of your sight that is making you see that. Like if you are wearing blue dark glasses, then the whole world looks blue to you. The world is not blue. So is this Mr. Perfect, who sees imperfections in the whole world because he is wearing the glasses of seeing fault. He is wearing the glasses of judging wrongly. That is delusion, right? So he thinks that everybody should behave according to what he thinks is right behavior. Everybody should do what he thinks is justice. Everybody should behave, dress according to what he wants. ऐसे नहीं होता है. So this is called a dosh drishti. हाँ, इसको दोष दृष्टि कहते हैं. And then these people take decisions which can turn very, if they are in a position of power and they see something wrong somewhere and they have an idea that no, I will perfect this, they can do very, very wrong things which can be very harmful for the society also. And they are so like, they have such a strong belief in their righteousness and what they are going to do is the best thing possible, that they don't even listen to advice. One big example is from Muhammad bin Tughlaq in our history in India, who had grandiose designs about his capital. He had grandiose designs of serving his people, and he took some such decisions which were very harsh on the people and which were very wrong, very ambitious designs, because he used to think, people say he was ahead of his time and all that. Maybe, but then he was not right for his time. If he was ahead of his time, then he was not behaving according to his time. So he made the people suffer. So those kind of things. So such people over here, Krishna calls them diabolically fallen asura. That means they have fallen from the good qualities of sura and they have become asura. So those are the people, and they are totally opposite to the people of the divine thing. They may be having some good qualities, because this is the middle category. Okay, we come to the third one now. Daivi sampadvimokshaya nibandhaya surimata mashucha sampadam daivim abhijatosi pandava. The divine nature is deemed for liberation, the demoniac for bondage. Grieve not, O Partha, you are born with divine qualities. Now you see, Krishna over here is tutoring Arjun on these qualities, right? Now, when somebody starts telling you these qualities, it is natural for any normal, ordinary human being like you and me to start imagining that all these things are in us. कि इनमें कुछ कुछ बैड क्वालिटीज तो हमें भी हैं, है ना? Because you start judging yourself by the touchstone of these qualities that are narrated. And so he must have seen a worrisome look on Arjun's face, and he starts telling him, Ma Shucha. Ma Shucha means don't worry. Don't worry. Krishna has again and again told Arjun, Ma Shucha. That means don't worry. Even the last last verse of the Geeta says the same thing, that don't worry. देखो, he says that don't worry, Arjun, because you are born with divine qualities. See, he says you are born with divine qualities. And no wonder, because he gets a teacher like the Lord himself. Who can get the teacher like the Lord himself? Somebody who is actually a deserving student. So Arjun must have been born with all kind of divine qualities, and that is the reason he is telling him that the divine nature is deemed for liberation. So people who have these divine qualities maximum, and they develop these divine qualities, or they are born with them, they are the ones who are right at the door of moksha. ये देखो, संपद्वि मोक्षाय, देवी संपद मोक्षाय. So Devi Sampada people get moksha. They are very They're knocking on the door of liberation. The demoniac for bondage. All these qualities that have been listed in this verse, Dambo Darpo Abhimanascha. These qualities do what? They create a bondage for you yourself. They are mental shackles that you put on yourself. See, is an angry man happy? Is a man who hates others happy? Is a man who thinks of injuring other people all the time happy? Is a man who is a hypocrite happy? No, they are not. And they have to put in so much of energies to continue uh, that you know that pride that they have geared up with. Over here, okay, then over here is, see, you can never be fully established in morality unless you believe in that supreme moral law called God. Devi Sampada. You cannot be fully entrenched in that unless you understand that the supreme moral law called God. And what is that moral law? That ethical values are the ones that liberate you. Unless and until you live ethically, you cannot be liberated. This is a prerequisite for liberation. Hmm. Now, also, it takes a lot of time to catch up with believing that there is a moral law in the world. There is a moral law. Somebody said that the test of spiritual courage is that if you believe it, live it. We may be believing in it, but we don't live it. See, we have double standards. We know smoking is wrong, but we are smoking ourselves, right? But we do not want our children to pick up smoking because we know that it is bad. So you know it, but you do not have the courage to practice it. That is with most of the people. Most of the people. They know what is right, but they will still do the wrong because they have an inclination to do wrong. They have a tendency to do wrong, but they do not have the moral courage to stand by the right thing. Okay. Now, so here it is that the divine estate leads to liberation. If you have the divine qualities, you will be freed of so many things. See, you can be free of pride, free of arrogance, free of anger, free of covetousness, huh? Free of hatred. Can you imagine how light your mind will become? How beautiful your personality can become? So there is, there is a scientific basis to it. Psychologists of all kinds who study the mind tell you this, that all the Asuric qualities burden the mind. They don't let you sleep. Yeah, they don't let you sleep. Depression. Have you seen people in depression? They can't sleep. People with anxiety can't sleep. People with a lot of self importance and somebody has insulted them cannot sleep. One word of insult takes away days of sleep, isn't it? But if you have no pride in yourself, you understand that this is all a play. How can it be? Just think about it. Values are a therapy. I've told you before that, this also, that Lewis Andrews, I've noted in my book, in a book called Revolution in Therapy. Revolution in Therapy, that means new ways of therapy. He has said, I'm reading out, even the most stubbornly avowed psychoanalyst will admit that no patient has really been healed who has not adopted a more spiritual point of living. Ethical therapy can provide lasting relief from a wide range of emotional problems. Just imagine that ethical therapy. Look at what he's calling it, ethical therapy. That means living the right values is a cure. It heals your personality of a whole lot of problems, emotional, psychological, and physical problems. We all know, it's a biological fact, that when you get angry, a whole lot of poisons are released by the glands into your system, isn't it? Any kind of wrong emotions like anxiety, too much of worry, too much of pride, arrogance, anger, this, that, hatred, or jealousy, all these things make the glands in your body release poisons into your body. And if poisons are released into your body, what happens to your body? Disease, isn't it? And then you suffer the physical ailments, you suffer mental ailments, you suffer emotional ailments, right? There are many, many people in the world who suffer from all these things, and they suffer only because they do not live the values. Huh? So, when you are not living these values, most of the people indulge in self pity. Privately, they indulge in self blame. They go on blaming themselves privately, not openly. They also keep on the poor me, to draw sympathy from others. See, everybody has been unjust to me. See, poor me. See, I don't have any money. See, the condition of my life. See, the condition of my family. Whatever. See, everybody has weak points in their lives. There is nobody who doesn't have suffering in his life. But self pity is the wrong thing. Why don't you count all the blessings that the Lord has given you? How much better you live than so many people, isn't it? Why don't you count that? How many graces has the Lord given you? Beautiful family, lovely food to eat, a disease free body. So many things the Lord has given you. Why don't you count that? Your education, does everybody? The amount of money you have, does everybody get it? The kind of beautiful parents and family you had, is everybody born into such a family? You were born with all your limbs intact and all your skills intact. Is everybody born like? No. You're one of the few chosen few. Count that rather than counting all the mishaps in your life and little things we blow up and think that this is. So when you do that kind of thing, when you project self pity on yourself, again, you cannot meditate. You cannot meditate because your mind is so preoccupied with those little worries of yours. And even if you don't have any worry, Gurudev used to say that if your meditation is only about the next meal, then forget about spirituality. Most of the people are only thinking, what is there for lunch today? What is there for dinner today? And that is the question a lot of people ask. That means their mind is only ruminating on food. How can they rise to the subtle realms of spirituality? They cannot. Okay. So we stop over here. This is it. And then we will take on the 6th verse next time. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om